They are the Magic Guys.
Hey, look at that. I might have prematurely played the intro there, but either way, it still happened. And we're live and we're
Old school intro. That was smooth. You did a good job.
The Magic Guys back at it again with a fresh new guest.
We don't have Josh, our technical stage manager,
no
office guy.
The really only guys today.
The only sane person in this puzzle is not here tonight. So
no dirty corporate guys today. Just streets.
It's a busker special, folks.
That's right. We have a special guest for you today. He doesn't talk a lot, but his name is Jimmy Talksalot. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing. Bam! What's up?
I feel like a big deal now.
Yeah. We have Jimmy Talksalot on the internet.
Got a fancy, you got a fancy intro and everything there, Jim.
Yeah, well, I put a clean shirt on. This better be good.
It's only as good as the guest, man.
But are you wearing
Jimmy, a lot
pants?
of our viewers,
That's what I want to know.
Are you wearing pants?
What?
Are you wearing pants?
Pants? Yes, I'm wearing pants.
That's a shame.
You know what I always feel like?
Shorts.
When I put on socks, I feel like I'm going to work. If it's important enough that I have to put socks on, that's where I feel like it's go time.
So a lot of people might not know who Jimmy Talksalot is. So Jim, do you mind giving some credentials to the viewers? Let them know who you are, what is that you do?
Yeah, I got
That's enough.
I'm a sidewalk performer, so I travel up and down sidewalks all over the world, working for whatever people think that they should pay me. And I do mostly sleight of hand. I don't really use too many gimmicks, hardly ever at all. Only not because I'm some sort of stylistic elitist about it or some kind of conceit. What it's not that. It's that it's just easier to not have to try and track down a gimmick if you're in the middle of somewhere. You know what I mean? It's so. I mean, I like gimmicks, but I don't use very many. And let's see. So yeah, but mostly what I do is I just try and play with people that walk by and get everybody to kind of have fun. And I tell jokes. I'm more of a comedy clown entertainer than I am a magician. I think. I do magic, but
Jason, we could leave now. We could just go get beers and come back in about 15 minutes. He'll be wrapping up, and that's a wrap. We're good.
I don't know what you want me to say.
How long have you been street performing for?
Oh, since I don't know. Professionally, not long. Only since 2002 or something. Professionally, full time.
You were a pitchman before that, working magic.
Yeah,
and a hell of a salesman too. May I?
Yeah, I had a magic shop, or I would work for magic shops, or I was a vendor. I'd also go to I'd be a vendor at like flea markets.
You worked with
David Walker.
Yeah,
and
himself, one of the
Don Drider,
pitchmen of all time.
Well, I never actually worked with Don. I knew Don. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but David Walker was a trip. That was a trip. Yeah. Sir David Walker, to work with that guy.
But so in early 2000, it was really the footage from the art of street performing that kind of
turned me around.
Plus me doing this, going, Jimmy, get over it and just go street perform. I kind of pushed you to do it, right?
Well, what happened was my wife had left me, and
I'm not laughing at the fact that your wife left you. I'm just.
Yeah, so
you are the
way to go, right? Seems like the way to go. Lose your wife and then fuck it, let's street.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I said. I figured I didn't have faith in street performing. I thought that it couldn't make. Remember, I told you I started professionally in 2000. I had been street performing since the 80s, but I never made more than $20 at it. And I was a writer. I made more money selling my books than I did street performing. So I didn't. And I would just go out to the streets to practice a trick or something, but I didn't think you could make a living at it. So when my wife left, I said, well, who cares? I couldn't go to the shop and work there anymore. I quit at Magic Masters. I was working at Magic Masters at that time. I quit because I couldn't think straight. So she had taken my children and vanished. I couldn't find her. So I just figured, well, I'll just go to Europe, be a street performer, and I'll die there.
That's a sentence that was a big difference. I'll just go to Europe. This is where, and this is kind of the ball sack it takes to be a success and as a street performer. You throw it all on the line and you pack your bag and you go where the money is. And that's kind of what you did.
Yeah.
And you came back a better man for it. How long were you in Europe? You went to Europe and you were there for what? Was it a year?
I don't know. I would stay there for long stints. Like I stayed in Spain for a year, lived in Barcelona for a year. And then
you're still doing street performing now?
Huh?
Are you still doing street performing now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I tried to go today. It was just so dead and so hot. It's like 100 degrees here.
Did you work this weekend? You said you had a fiesta thingamajig. How was that?
I wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, what?
This is huge for me. Usually, the way I street perform for years and years and years. The way I street perform is I would do kind of what we call a hype show. Even though it's not a big circle show for 40 minutes, I don't do those big shows. I don't use a table or anything. I just stand there and for about 20 minutes, I do kind of a hype show and then hat them, right? And but I'm getting old and I'm having health issues and I can't, and I don't use an amp, so it's really takes a lot out of me. Besides, not.
Let me tell you. Let's pause there as well because I don't know that a lot of people can appreciate this. Number one, just street performing in New Orleans, but to do it without an amplifier is basically unheard of in this city.
Yeah, I was.
On top of that, no table, and what are your props? Most of the time, it's a coin, a stick, and a piece of rope.
That's it. That's what I carry: a stick, a coin, and a piece.
Really?
Of rope. Well, I have like a little hacky sack. Huh?
Frakestar Scenic pouch by the looks of it.
I'm sorry?
You use a Frakestar Scenic pouch, right?
Ambitious card. Frank used to sell Jimmy's design, actually.
Yeah. Well, I used to do, when I would do bigger stuff, when I would go out and do a lot of like juggling tricks, I would do magic tricks with juggling. And I would make the balls change to different colors or vanish or whatever. So, yeah, that's where I would use that bag. Or if I was doing manipulation, billiard manipulation or something. But I don't wear a pouch anymore.
But even that pouch was cool. You developed a design Frank sold, which gave you access to your pants pockets, which most pouches do not. So
yeah, most pouches go over the pockets, so you can't access into your pockets. But this one was very large. It would go over, so you could basically reach in. It wasn't made for cups and balls at a table. It was made for manipulating up here, manipulating stuff, or being able to bend over or go into your pocket.
Not 6 oranges in a cantaloupe pouch.
No, it wasn't it wasn't a cups and balls pouch. It's a manipulator's pouch, So in other words, if you want to steal something and make it out of that pouch and make it appear from a handkerchief for a scarf or fouillard or something, or if you want to, I don't know, it's for appearances and vanishes. I used to make big items, 5-inch balls disappear. Because I had that pouch.
That takes balls.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about this. You're in Europe traveling around. You entered a street performers competition there. And did you win?
No, I got second place.
Mm-hmm. Where was that?
That was in St. Wendel. St.
Wendel.
Yeah. What he said. So, yeah, I got second place.
It's like a place. Can you be more vague? Where is St. Wendel?
Oh, it's in Germany. I said I got second place. I won second place.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, who won? Who won it?
Oh, that was Ted.
Somebody with an amp.
Ted McCoy. And I didn't believe. I thought they were messing. Because Gary Animal was messing with me the whole time I was there. And he goes, "Man, you won second place." And I said, "Stop messing with me." And he goes, "You got to get on stage." And I said, "You're not going to make a fool out of me again." Because the whole festival, he played practical jokes on me and made me look like an idiot all week. So and I go, "You're not going to do it again." He goes, no, this is not a joke. You got to get on stage. And so then they started calling me, and I went up there. And so afterward, I asked him, I said, "Well, what's the deal?" I said, "I wasn't as good as any of them. They were all better than me. Every street performer that showed up was light years better than me." And I said, you guys don't feel sorry for me, do you? And they said, no, it's not that at all. And I said, well, what is it? And they said, you're the only one that street performed. Everybody else showed up with, like some guys showed up with giant trucks to unload all their equipment. And they were doing big, like what would be at Cirque du Soleil or what would be at a, like festival performers, not street performers, right? They said, you showed up with a little bag, no amp, and you could still get a crowd as big as a guy who had an amp with a whole circus backdrop and everything out. And you could still, they said, and then you would work not on the circle pitch, but you would go work in alleys. Nobody was working in alleys and in doorways and stuff. And they said, so that's why you got second place. And they said, but the reason Ted McCoy, the reason he won, I said, stop right there. Because I had seen Ted McCoy. And I don't know what, I mean, me and all the magicians would watch him show after show. We don't know what he was doing. I mean, a couple of times we kind of saw maybe something, and the other thing is he'd do it in German, but we all understood what he was saying.
Let me pause here and bring a comment onto this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mention this because you did write about some of your stuff, and I point people to what is a blog, and it became this book, To Lure with Spectacle. You sell the book in more of a handmade form. I don't know that these volumes are available anymore, but you are a hand craftsman of materials, and this is how this book's offered. But I think this book has helped a lot of people. And when people ask me about street performing, that's where I send them before anywhere else. I think that you've produced a great volume of information.
Well, that was
helpful.
Well, that wasn't me. That was the masters. I just wrote down what the masters told me, and you're one of the masters. So there's lots of the chapters in the book.
Yeah, well, I just told you what the masters told me. So,
well, that's it. Yeah, I got from Sonny Istvan out there. Istvan, the Hungarian. He's a master. He's a genius, right? I wrote down whatever he told me. Tons of. They're all in the book. I listed who told me what. So it wasn't really, that book wasn't really my book. I have 3 other books that I did write my opinions. And my opinions are in the Lure with Spectacle.
The beautiful thing about the volume is at first it was you just expressing your life's work through a blog. This was not a project designed to sell books. This was you writing about the art, the artists you meet. The blog is much deeper than the book. The book's cherry-picked bits of information from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. So
that happened due to the publisher.
Well, that's business. Do you still
the
write
publisher discovered me him and a few other publishers had found me on the blog on the forums. And what I would do is I would post my blog article on the forum, and then they would all discuss it, right?
Yeah.
And then I would try and explain what I meant if they misunderstood what I had said. Well, these publishers, I guess this is good. If you're looking to write a book, you should hear me. They lurk. They lurk on forums. They lurk on places like Facebook and other places, and they lurk there until they find a good writer. And a couple of them contacted me. I said no, but then this guy from Leaping Lizards contacted me, and he says, and he said, well, just send me just bundle it up or whatever. I said, because they wanted me to write more. And I said, I really didn't have time. At that time, I really just wanted to street perform. I didn't want to sit around writing all the time. But I have written other books well before this book that don't even have anything to do with magic. I was a writer well before.
With your weirdo fanzine.
Yeah, fanzines or poetry
style.
Or short stories or fiction or novels and things like that. I wrote all kinds of stuff. So, but I was really in love with magic and street performing, and I just didn't have time to do that anymore. I wanted to go do magic, and I love
streets are the best. I think they're the best venue in my opinion. But here's something interesting. You said a lot of like not using an amp and stuff. I'm the same in the regards that I don't think that using an amp is a good idea, especially when you start out. I think it's better to not use an amp because it's really, really hard, first of all, to travel with an amp. Because of like the batteries and stuff. But on top of that, even when I do use an amp now, I use a lapel all the way down here. So I still have that organic yelling. You know what I mean? That whole street yelling vibe. So I wear like a lapel down here. I don't wear one of those like
Maybe this is where we learn about omnidirectional microphones, Jimmy.
Mr. Jason, can I ask you tell me about that? Because I'm going to an amp now. I've gone to a table and I'm going to an amp because I want to do sidewalk, very close up, but I want to have the amp to attract. But I don't like the head.
I don't like those either. Yeah,
so
I like when it
how
comes
do you
to
get it to hear you? How do you, Mr. Jason? How do you get it to hear you?
So, you guys fill the silence and I'll go grab it. I'll show you.
Okay.
So you're probably going to spend about $800 now that you asked this question.
Well, that's not a problem because I don't have.
Here's the thing: most of the tech answers that I'm not saying everyone, but like Jason knows his shit. You'll get good answers on what you need.
Yeah, this is great. This is great.
And like most things that a professional will buy for their work, you generally get what you pay for, and the more money you can spend, the better. I know that amp you're eyeballing, and it's a good one. But let me tell you, right now on my card, I have that a Samsung I'm looking at that's even gooder. I want that in my life.
Yo.
So yeah, what's the story?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Tell me.
So I use this sucker. This thing's amazing.
So it can hear you out there in the wind.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is it won't even pick up the wind, but it'll pick up your voice.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just a really good mic. It's a little bit pricey, but.
And what is a little bit pricey?
Because a minute ago, $500 was cheap. So what's
about 800?
I told you.
Oh,
I told you it was gonna. That was my guesstimate.
You can clip it here. I mean,
so I got to pay $800 for it to hear me.
Is that Australian or American?
That's Australian, so it'll be like $600 for you guys.
So if I
so it sits here. So it sits here. This thing clips onto your belt, which is obviously great news. And then this one here goes into your amp, so it's all wireless and beautiful, which is great. So you get to you get the freedom of movement. You don't have this stupid thing on your face. And then also I turn there's a settings in this. I don't know if you can see this. Hang on. So it's going to focus on that.
Man, that's nice.
So if I click here, you can see there's a sensitivity, right?
Ooh.
I can change that sensitivity up or down, and that's obviously going to affect how much this picks up.
And how important is the microphone itself? Is that issued with the transmitter?
Yeah, it comes with it.
Yeah,
comes with it.
Have you felt or ever needed to replace that piece?
So this one here's my second one in 10 years.
Wow. Great.
And
for a street performer, that speaks volumes.
The other one still works.
Wow.
The other one still works just fine. This is just the newer model, and I just wanted to upgrade because I'm a fucking fiend.
Wow.
Now we know.
So, and the beautiful thing about it is, like I was saying, I don't know if it's the same for you there, Jim, but it's all well and good to have like a crystal clear mic, and have that nice crystal clear,
Yeah.
And I kind of like that organic feel of being like, hey, watch me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the emotion. It's not
a crystal clear mic. It'll sound real wrong, right? It won't sound correct.
Without an amp, they feel all the emotion and the inflection and everything is there. It's and they feel it. But here's the strength of an amp is that it sounds professional, And so if you're working, like I work in a lot of real rough areas, and people are scared. Can you not hear me? Am I too loud?
No, we're joking. I'm making bad jokes, Jim. Just keep talking.
Okay. I don't know what's going. I'm new. I don't know what's going.
Yeah, anyway. You're brand new. This is brand spanking new for you.
Yeah, I'm probably going to make some major faux pas. All right.
This don't happen in real world.
Short form, man.
Yeah. But anyway, I learned to use my diaphragm so that I could project. So I've actually had police come up to me and say, hey, you need, that amp, you got to turn that down. I said, I don't have an amp. And they look and there's a little bag sitting on the ground or I'm wearing a little bag and they're looking around and I have no amp.
Really surprised me that you were switching to an amp. When you said you were doing that, I was like, whoa, all right. But I do understand the reasoning, especially as you get older. It's an energy drain.
I want him to come up to the table now, right? And let the amp attract them over to I want to do more close-up parlor or whatever. The reason is because it takes a lot of energy. Remember, I didn't have an amp and I didn't have a table and I didn't have a lot of flash out there. I had like a little sign. That's my whole flash. Sometimes I lay a rope out, right? I lay a rope out.
Yeah.
So I really got to bounce around like a monkey to get people's attention. I have to do a lot more work to get them to see that something is going on over here, right? So
I used to use the old whack the stick method,
Well, I would do that all day long, but
I had a table and
you hear him whining, but yeah, you give Jimmy a 8-inch piece of wood in 2 minutes and he'll have 50, 60 people out there every time.
I've got an 8-inch piece of wood.
Look at another thing my teacher sent me.
That's it. Look at his little stick.
Yeah, this was the one he sent me, and I cut the other end off.
It was too big.
Yeah, this one's 9 inches. I do have a 6-incher up there. I'm thinking about getting these what do you call something wands.
It's not the size. He's going to be using toothpicks by 2024.
Anyway, yeah.
I find amplified performers though versus non-amplified performers, the ones that use amps are usually real soft.
What
so people that use amps methodically, like they just use amps all the time, they're real soft performers. Like as soon as their amp dies in battery or something, they pack up and they go home. Or yeah, it's crazy to me. So I spent the first 6 years of my busking career never used an amp.
I think you're going to hate it, Jimmy. I think you're going to hate it.
What I would say, I mean, I'm doing this. I'm calling this new thing, this table act, my retirement program, right? I mean, if you look at Gazzo, what is he doing? He's doing the same thing. He's not even doing the cups.
Have you seen him lately? Yeah, he sits down on a fucking bar stool and does a card to lemon.
Yeah, that's it. That's what he does. That's what
it's amazing.
Bravo,
it's actually amazing.
Bravo. I respect it. I watched it 15 times saying to myself, this man is a genius. So I'm going that route.
Just the culmination of his 40 plus years street performing comedian.
Right. Exactly.
And puts that together and does one card trick. And then
exactly.
and also the stool goes up his ass, which is
that's the moment really beyond his comedy.
That's very funny. It's a very funny
moment. The things in the lemon.
But I would say for a young person, no. I would say go get it. If I could go back 20, 30 years, I would do the same thing I did before. I would go no amp, and I would just go, just Rambo it. You know what I mean? And I think that go towards the suffering, because if you can learn how to project your voice and your amp breaks, it doesn't matter.
That's good advice, actually, and a hard advice to take. But
nobody suffering doesn't sell.
That if you're going to be a busker, because the suffering is inevitable.
Coaching.
Suffering doesn't sell, but it's a reality. Another thing is, if you can't learn to do a show with just one coin and a playing card, Wayne playing, what I mean? Because if something happens, like me without the rope, man, I'd feel lost, but I could do a show. But my rope is my moneymaker, right? It's like my cups and balls. So, so I go out there and I do a show with some coins and a stick, and I try and make some money, deck of cards, and go towards the suffering. If I was, like I said, my advice to young people would be to try and do the hard thing, and then when it's easy, you're a rock star. If you can stop them on a dead street with a stick, on a dead street with a stick, when the festival comes, you're gonna be a rock star, because you're gonna know what works. Because if it fails, it won't work on a dead street.
and let me tell you, I've seen you make money on days and times where no one else can do a thing because you practice what you preach. It'll be a Tuesday. There's 3 people in Jackson Square, but you have a crowd of 12 going on, and it's your 3rd show of the day. Or it's 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday and you got 50 people in front of the church.
I got to tell you, I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah, but look, you're getting old. You're getting old. You smoke your whole life.
How old are you now, there, Jimmy?
I'm 54, but it's 54 straight years.
Still a baby.
I used to be a punk rocker, man. But when I was
we got Dwayne Andrew, man. Do you remember old man Doc?
You know Dwayne, Jimmy?
Which Dwayne?
Doc. Cups and balls.
Oh, Dwayne Andrew. Yeah, me and Dwayne. Yeah, he did a medicine show. Yeah, I know. He's in Australia. Yeah,
he lives in Melbourne now. Lives in Melbourne.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Yeah.
Who's your all-time favorite street performer, Jimmy?
Who, me?
Yeah, who's your all-time favorite besides Jason Marr?
Yeah, I really like Jason.
Jason.
That's what blew my mind, because you're like, you got to check out this guy, Jason. And I didn't know the name, but I knew your face. So every time I would go through, I'd stop and watch you work the street, right? And and then you said that, and I went there and I went, could it be? Oh my gosh, it's like God, I've been already watching, you know. So I was kind of excited that you were going to be on the thing here, so I get to meet. It's big, and I always say that, like when I met Grendel. Yeah, I don't know if you know who that is, but when I met Grendel and Bascom Oddity, you know, and people are like, who are these people? You know, like Paul in London. You know, I met Paul in London. I met Gary Animal. When I meet these people, these are the rock stars to me.
You know James Hessler, Jim? Did you meet him?
James Hessler.
Hessler, he's a great guy. I like
Hessler was my mentor.
James Hessler is a great street performer. He's a very stand-up guy. He's a good man. He's a very good man. Very intelligent. Yeah, and very skilled.
James, it was summed up to me. James's personality. He's the kind of guy that just wants to see the best of the world and then gets disappointed when it doesn't come to be. You know what I mean? So he's like the sweetest guy, but then he'll pout a lot. He'll be like,
I love his show.
He's funny. He's very funny.
And I don't know if he still has it, but I saw him years ago in London, and he had a scooter, and on that scooter he had a tray jack stand that folded into a square. And then he had a table that folded in the same size square, and he strapped that with bungees on the back of his scooter, and he would that was his rig. How crazy is that? Right?
He used to have a trolley back in nowadays. So pushes the old cart, you know, comes out with a bag, like leather bag stretched over the table, and just wheels it out. Standard cross-legged table. You know, like Sergio Barros has a similar thing, but he uses the big trunk case.
Yeah, I met Sergio. I like Charlie Caper. I worked with Charlie.
Now there's a great one.
Yeah,
he's a robotics engineer now.
Well, he was always destined for great things. We knew that. All of us knew that when we worked with him on.
Yeah, so many street performers are. It's such a great learning ground to develop an art, and there's some wonderful, great acts that never do anything but that.
I should tell this story. You all heard of Dynamo, yeah? Dynamo?
Yes, yes.
Well, when I first met Dynamo, he would work not on Bob Reed's, not on the Magician's Corner. He worked up James Street.
The main pitch, right?
No. Do you know where have you been to London? Have you worked that corner?
Yeah.
Okay, if you go up away from Covent Garden, up James Street, you know that you're going more and more close up, right?
Right.
You understand what I mean? Like if you go down on the pitch there on the Magic Corner, that's like a half circle pitch. Then there's St. Paul's, which is the circle show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but if you go further up James Street, the street is narrow and narrower, so it's more close up. Well, he worked no table, nothing. All he had was a deck of cards, and he would moonwalk. He would do this little moonwalk thing and do his card tricks all close up for 3 or 4 people, and everybody in Covent Garden said he was the greatest magician, had the best chops in Covent Garden. They'd say all these amazing things about this guy, right? Go on and on. And I would work next to him because I always did sidewalks. So I'd work up there, or the big show for me would be I would work on the Magic Corner. I only did a couple of shows in front of St. Paul ever, but mostly it was either on anyway. So he gets famous. I don't know, Snoop Dogg or somebody signs him, and he gets a TV show. He comes back, and they all treat him like garbage. They say, "Oh, he's the worst magician." I said, "Wait, last year you said that he was like," and now
it's that envious,
right? And I said, "He's one of you. He's one of you. He's English, man. You all should get like behind him." And then he came up to me one day, and he says, "I've been here all day. Listen to this. I've been here all day, searching for magicians to go on my show. I want to help them. I want to get, because they helped me. I did what they told me to do, and I got rewarded for it. And now none of them like me. and I tried to get them to come on my show, but they won't go on my show.
Golden ticket.
Yeah, he comes back for them to make them rich and famous, and they're so envious and uptight about it that they snuffed him, right? And so I said, "Man, I'm so sorry." And he goes, "That's all right." And so and then I tell people I knew Dynamo, and they're like, "You don't know that guy's a millionaire. He's a world famous bitch. You're just some guy on the street, you know." Okay, all right.
Man, it's it is interesting. Josh played mini golf with him in Australia here, and said that his chops were some next level stuff too. Like apparently he could do a muscle pass from a flat hand, which in my opinion is insane, and it doesn't sound believable. But at the same time, I'd believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A flat hand, man. Imagine that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is he had chops. I mean, with the cards anyway. I remember with the cards.
A guy out there doing magic 6-8 hours a day, every day, days on end. He's good. How's that happen?
But what was so funny is that was his rig. You're looking at his rig. Excuse me.
Look,
he had a baseball cap.
I'm confident I make a living with this now. I go out there with this and this wallet. I guess I need this, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
Everything else is gravy.
I actually wrote a show as well using just a deck of cards specifically for the reasons you were talking about. Mm-hmm. I have a few different shows. The Cups and Balls is my go-to. I would say
I love your Cups and Balls, sir. That's why I was watching you. Yeah.
Yeah. Cups and Balls is my bread and butter. But then I have two other shows. One's a chop cup routine, and then the other one is just pure deck of cards. That's it, nothing else. So yeah, it's good. Pure deck of cards can be fun. It's no table.
Your Cups and Balls blowing up on the reels this week, or it was like.
Oh no, that was just a random video.
Yeah, right.
Someone took of me while I was doing shows at Darling Harbour.
1 million views there doing the cups.
yeah, it's funny. It's just so funny how prominent we are on the internet these days, right? Like,
look, I shared a clip with Jimmy. My views are not stellar, but I put a clip of him street performing, and I'm telling him, put your street stuff up there, and that clip gets 5 times the views of anything I posted in the last week or two.
I did see that clip. It did pop up on my feed. So,
and when I filmed that clip, I did not post it originally because I thought that clip was not of value. But it's the only recent clip I have of Jimmy.
Jimmy's the creator of the flip stick in the hat.
I don't know about that.
I think
I am, right? I haven't seen anything else, but
you know how I know this?
Somebody had to do it.
How do you know that?
We had this lovely young lady. What's her name? Alex. I don't remember her last name, but do you remember Alex?
Yeah.
Awesome. By the way, she's doing really well. But her and I, our first real encounter was that she did a flip stick and then pulled it out of the hat, and I was like, "Oh, it's pretty cool." And then one of my videos later on, I also did a flip stick and pulled it out of my hat. And she got really mad at me because it's like she thought I stole it from her. And then I was like, no, that can't be right. I swear I've seen it somewhere before. And sure enough, 14 years ago, it'd be 15 now. 15 years ago, Jimmy Talksalot, a video on YouTube. Jimmy making a stick disappear and pulling it out of a hat. Jimmy the OG.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
That's it, Jimmy the OG.
That's why I know that if you put your mind to this, you could do this. Because back in the day, you're living in San Antonio, you were doing family shows and you had a magic shop. But you also had this. Yeah. You had an interest in filming your original creative material. And you did a pretty good catalog of this. It's not the best footage, right? It's not the best camera. It's not the best scenery. But you have this drive to capture the footage and put it out there. If you capture that drive again, you'll be successful.
I've been working on it. I have a keyless ring routine. And also,
here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You're a creator. You just create and you just keep doing that.
I got a ton of routines that I've created.
Yeah. And you can keep doing that. So you just do that if you want, if you like it.
You know, another big secret to content creation is if you can't be bothered making up new routines all the time, don't create, just document. So when you go out and street perform, just film your street performances.
Wow.
Those random people reacting will be already amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't create, just document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. That's what I want to do it because like I said, I'm getting older. It's hard for me to travel around and do the stuff that I used to do. So I'm just gonna. I mean, I still got it. I want to street perform. That's never gonna stop. You know. And so I've always thought I hope I die on the sidewalk. But yeah, but I want to go out that way. Yeah,
get a Jim Cellini, man. Busk all day, go to sleep, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Some people want to do that. Gazzo chooses that lifestyle. Yeah. He doesn't have to do that.
The ideal scenario for Gazzo would be busking every single day and then one day just waking up dead. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The last thing he did was busk and then went to sleep going,
it's the best when it's the best performance there. When I mean, it's hard, right? Yeah. When it's tough, but when it's good, there's nothing better.
There's nothing like it.
There's
nothing like it. Me and Eric Evans used to say, our lives are in disarray. The only time the universe is perfect is in that good show. You know, that's true. Yeah. It's like when the show is right, the universe is right. You know, and finally my head works properly. You know, I'm not like I said, I've always been sort of a malcontent or something. Like I said, when I was a kid, I was a punk rocker. I lived under a bridge for a number of years, you know, and I traveled around hitchhiking and squatting and all that stuff. And so I've always been sort of, you know, so street performer was almost going normal for me. You know, it was almost.
I think
it really is a perfect fit.
I could say that over the years, street performing just led to friendships that you just can't get anywhere else.
Let me tell you,
people that understand you on a level. I mean, you'll meet someone you've never met before, but you might have heard of them, and you're instantly buds, having a beer and chilling and chatting. And it's just because you get it. You get each other. In fact, my wife is a street performer too, Jim.
Really?
Yeah, she's a street performer too. She wasn't when we first met, but now she is. Yeah, she does it full time. So pretty lucky there.
You know what I noticed too is that us magician street performers hang out with all kinds of other entertainers. And
yeah, we don't stick to one niche.
Right? Isn't that weird? Because if you meet a lot of magicians and they usually have magician friends. Right? You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You know, I actually found because of street performing, I hung out with very few magicians unless they were street performers. Yeah.
Paul Nathan. Yeah,
I found it really hard to want to hang out with them when they're like, "Oh, come to the Magic Club." Nah. Might give that a miss. Yeah, might give the Magic Club a miss if I'm honest. Yeah, never really a fan.
Yeah. Whoa, that's good stuff.
It's the what's this one? Joe Rhineflesh.
That was on my radar just earlier today. Outside eyeballing rubber band tricks.
A single strand of band, baby. Look at that. You got to grab the ends. You loop them around the band, and then when you blow, it restores.
do the if you do it still, the Justin Miller one.
Oh, the ring.
No, just with the knot.
Okay, yeah, sure. This one. All right, you ready? So you got to take the ends, tie them off.
This is a great trick if your rubber band breaks for real. You do this.
This is the only way to restore a rubber band. You tie the ends together. But then you have this ugly looking little knot here, right? You don't really want that. So you could either break the band to open her up, or you can grab the knot and you pull. And you get those little ends to come off. And then if you obviously can't have that though. So what you do is you just place them right there and they restore back together again.
Oh, it's science.
Science, straight up facts, baby.
Do you do any rubber band magic, Jimmy? You do any elastic?
Crazy handcuffs I can do.
Yeah,
I think I can remember that.
Still the best trick. Still the best rubber band trick, in my opinion. Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
still do that one all the time. Kills. Put it in their hands, get them to hold them, and then it's magic. So yeah, what else is in the cards for you, Jim? You'll be posting a lot of content soon, huh? Tricks every day, and
I'm gonna. That's the goal. The goal is I'm gonna start doing like kind of what you guys do. I'm gonna do what you guys do, but I'm gonna be one of you guys now.
I urge you just to go outside, turn the camera on, and watch for the people's reactions. That's your.
I got the tripod for that. That's what I'm doing.
So I'm gonna have my chat group, man. We always share. You know, we're always talking about ideas and stuff.
I'm going to build a studio for in here, and I'm going to do routines. And hopefully I'm going to be able to buy somebody. I'm going to get my wholesale license or whatever, and I'll put these things together so that I can market them. But I'm going to make routines that they can watch. And then I'm also going to go do those routines to prove that they work on the street. I'm going to go out to the street and do them out there. Yeah. But I'm also just going to do street shows out there and film those. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to do what you guys do. And yeah.
It looks like you got people who want to be your fans already. Does Jimmy have an Instagram or a YouTube channel?
No, I got to get an Instagram. I do have a Facebook and a YouTube.
You don't have Instagram?
Is that just Jimmy Talksalot?
No, I'm going to get one. Nolan, my son's got one. That's
got to be priority.
What would you call it?
That's what my son said. He told me it's a priority.
Yeah, I think it's the hottest platform right now. I really do. In my experience, I'm posting on all of them. Instagram, for Magic in particular.
Yeah, Instagram's going well at the moment.
Yeah,
Instagram rewards good videos and good performers. You know.
Mm-hmm. The audience seems to have enough of an attention span to watch your stuff. If it's quality, if it's not quality, it's not going to get shown. But like on TikTok, you try to get someone to watch for 10 seconds. If it's not rocking their mind the entire time, they're going to scroll.
Oh wow.
And that's fine.
I don't know what you're talking about, Doug. I never have that problem.
Unless you've sold your soul to Beelzebub or you have hair like Jim.
I know what you're talking about. Every time I post, it's always perfection.
I'm going to buy a wig and see how my content goes.
I've always believed the ball and vase would be gold. It's funny that you say that because I do the ball and vase.
Do you? I love that trick.
Quite religiously, in fact.
I love that trick.
I would say
your routine is fire. You morph it into a multiplying balls.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I change the color from like red to white, and then it's like I'm producing like all the multiplying balls, and then it ends with like a production of like 6 balls
you do
altogether.
The flip stick in it. You have a ball and vase that has a hole.
I do the flip stick, and then I pull it out of the vase. Yeah, I got a
whole
routine.
Where is that at? Where is that online?
Yeah,
I can see that.
It is
online.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up for you.
Yeah,
let's watch that.
Yeah, let's watch that.
I don't think you'll be able to.
I like magic.
I don't think you'll be able to hear it though. That's the issue. We watch it on this.
We could do songs. We can sing a TikTok song over the performance.
Oh, what the heck? One of my videos got a community guidelines violation.
Ooh, which one?
I don't know. It's
drama.
You don't do anything that would make them mad. What they don't
get mad
like
over
magic?
Fire. If it's dangerous, they get mad.
I don't know. Just on the computer though, not on anything else.
You rebel.
You know, it's weird actually. I know which routine it is.
I think to answer that question before, Dusty Campbell. I think I like
favorite?
Dusty Campbell.
Good.
Yeah.
All-time favorite, Dusty Campbell.
I don't know about all my recent.
I mean, you already mentioned Charlie Caper.
Well, Charlie Caper is amazing. It's amazing.
I'm not arguing Dusty Campbell. In fact, he's one of the finest humans I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
especially if you're in a fight. He can go.
You definitely want him on your side. Yeah. I get, but that's what's really scary about that guy is if you don't know that about him, you would never guess that about him.
Yeah, right.
And you might get yourself into a lot.
I never feel safer than when I'm hanging out with
kids. I know, because he is the most silly, goofy, harmless-looking guy.
Love me some Dusty
that you ever met. Like
right.
Ooh.
I don't think you'll be able to hear it though, but you'll be able to see it still.
Make it the big screen, Jason. However that magic works.
I'm trying to figure that one out. Doesn't seem to want a big screen.
Wait, maybe I can do it.
I think I like
you mean like this one, yeah.
Because he's so funny.
Solo layout? Are you doing that?
Man, this is right up my alley.
I don't know. I don't know how to big screen, to be honest.
Wait,
there you go.
Hold on. That's the wrong person.
Hey, look, I'm big.
Now we're doing things, but we don't know what we're doing. I think if you click the big icon on the bottom left, you'll be the big one, Jason. Boom.
There we go.
Boom.
All right, let's see how it goes. And the vase.
Fucking fire.
Wow. Boom. Oh. I love this. Oh, pretty. That was so pretty. You got it.
Yeah. That's a winner.
Yeah, baby.
That's
what we're
nice.
talking
Yeah.
It's like a cups and balls routine almost. It's like that's how, or manipulation. That's how it should be done.
I got these this week, Jay.
Whoa!
Right, they're the ones I use. Hey, how good are they?
I bought the
good,
Bon
right?
Lee balls, and I was not happy with the Bon Lee product. I thought the shell was thick, so I got these instead.
Those ones are the one I use.
What size are those?
By them.
1.75 or 1.
Oh, those are perfect. Yeah, for me.
That's what I use too. Yeah,
this is a great ball.
Yeah. What's the company?
It's JL Lucas, I think is the name of it. Jason recommended it to me, and happily Murphy's got them in stock last week.
Ooh.
I ordered an extra set.
Did you now?
It'll be in my hands this week.
I use only the finest bowls.
I was really happy. I've been looking for a good set for a while, and the Bon Lee set was really close, and it did come with 2 shells and 4 balls. It was a pretty good value set, but these are a better, having a thinner shell means a lot in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't hit as hard when you can tell that there's a half bowl involved,
Yeah.
I like those ones a lot because you can just firstly they feel super easy to manipulate, move around and stuff. But also
what I ordered today was the JL Silk to ball. Have you seen this thing? You're holding a handkerchief and it just goes zip and it's a ball.
I want that in my life. New one too.
Is it good? You like it?
Do you have one, Jason?
No, but I assume you ordered me one too, right?
I just ordered one. If I've never had one,
come on, bro.
What are you going to do? Trust the magic community to produce a good product? I'm not going to order 3 of anything if I've never held it in my hand.
Are you going to trust the magic community?
You know what I just got in the mail today?
Wiser words have never been said. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's good. No, I agree. Wiser words have never been said. The magic community, these days, they just produce high-octane crap. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap,
do. It's priced.
The amount of magic I've seen that comes out, they're like, oh, this new visual thing, and then you get it, and it's like the most garbage piece of shit.
Yeah, and then they take it off to the club to show all the club guys.
You know what's funny? This right here. Have you seen this trick? It's not going to look good on camera. It's not going to look good on.
Show Jimmy what this is. I bet he hasn't seen this thing.
Jason, whose ball vase was that?
So I got that from a magic shop in Japan. I actually don't know whose it is.
Oh, it's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, nice wood
Look
one.
What this
is. You're gonna do Ring on Spring for me now?
Oh, have you seen Ring on Spring?
I've seen the little cheap $2, $1 version.
That's what I mean. That's all this is. That's all that this is. But they do it as a magic trick now, where it's like a linking, ring on spring.
I used to do that. Let me see if you do the same thing.
I always turn like this so I can show it like it looks like this. So like obviously if I have it here, it looks like it's linked, but it's not, right? Obviously it's not linked.
Yeah.
Right. But if you look at it it's all about perspective. If you look at it from this angle, it kind of looks like it's linked. And then it actually is linked, and you can't actually get that off. Right, it actually is linked. But like, yeah, it's not a good camera trick, but it is like it is a good trick.
It's like here's what I thought you'd appreciate is this prop instead of being a rinky-dink, piece.
That's what I like about it.
It's got some meat to it. What I saw today on the demo, a guy linked it linear, so he had like the tube going one way and the ring coming in sideways, so it went like horizontally into it.
So listen, I used to do that trick, what you did. But I would also carry, the pyramid puzzle, the 2-piece pyramid puzzle. I'd get them in wood, right? The real nice ones, and maybe get 2-3 more other pieces to mess with them, right? And then I would also get, the 2 nails that are bent around each other like that. Okay, I would do it so quick, I could do it like linking rings. I connect them and unconnect them, and then give it to them. Take it back, link it, and then give it back, and then back, and then I glued them. So it's like, and you say, here, I think they're stuck. Yeah.
Did you do the pyramid and then add the extra piece?
Yeah, I would add the extra piece on the pyramid.
Yeah. You make it with 2 pieces and you put 3 on the table.
Yeah, and I'd say, you know how this really works? There's 3 pieces. And I would give it to them, and then they would be fiddling with 3 pieces, and I go, you know how this really works? There's actually 4 pieces. And then they'd be fiddling when I say, you know how this really works? There's actually 5 pieces. Keep giving them pieces until they would finally get what I was,
That reminds me of the squeaker ball.
Yeah.
You know the squeaker ball? Nah, just kidding.
Yeah.
Man. Then you give them the fake squeaker.
Oh, yeah. The goggle thing, yeah.
Yeah, I used to love that one. That's for funny years. Another good one was the, you blow up the balloon. James Hesley used to do this all the time. You blow up the balloon and then you go, and then it goes flat and it's still like,
oh, yeah.
And he's like using the squeaker, yeah.
Doesn't Nico use that in his act, Jimmy?
Nico doesn't do any balloons.
Nico Maho.
Oh, Nico Maho. Oh, yeah, probably.
I know Nick Sharp used to do it, but he got it from somebody else.
Dante did it. Dante did it.
That's probably where he got it from, Dante.
Yeah, Dante did it.
That's the good stuff.
Dante.
Yeah.
Now there's a great one. You want to talk about some of the greats of all time?
Sure. Yeah, I was talking about him to Sharon. I said he was like the next Cellini.
Yeah,
he just went off to I don't know. What is he doing now? He's playing ukulele. I don't know what he's doing. Some kind of music.
Jimmy, have you met Samuel King yet? You had a chance to meet Sammy King?
Huh?
Sammy King, Sammy Showtime.
Oh, that I've heard. Sammy Showtime. Who's that?
Yeah, he's a young fella, street performer. But I reckon that he reminds me of Charlie Caper in the way that he like rigs up these real intense. Do you remember his bow tie routine? Charlie Caper's bow tie routine with the cup and all that good stuff. Yeah, so he's got sort of similar like a mental process where he takes a string off his hat. He wears like a real patchy outfit, with like patches on it. And he takes his hat off and he pulls the string off and then he does the gypsy thread, right? Great routine, perfect for street shows. But then afterwards he goes, you know how I do that trick? I'm actually just the world's fastest crocheter. Check this out. And he holds the string like all the way down to the floor and it just goes zip and turns into a little teddy bear. Zip. And it's a little bear. And then he just puts it in his pocket and it sits there. It's fucking awesome. It's such a good routine.
Where you saw him in Australia?
He's from Australia, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He also came up with, you know how everyone's doing that lollipop trick at the moment where they like, they have the stick and then they put this lolly on there and then it turns into a wrapped lolly. Well, he was doing that first and he was doing it with a piece of gum that was on the bottom of his shoe. And halfway through his performance, he'd be like, oh, geez, I stepped in some gum. And he'd pull off this bit of gum and he's like, here you go, kid, candy. I obviously don't want it. And he goes, all right, make it into a ball and put it on a stick. And then it's like, there you go. No, still no. And then boom, turn it into a lollipop and then give it to the kid. And it was a really nice, moment because it felt so organic. It didn't feel like, like I'm going to do the next act in my show now. It felt like he stepped in gum and then it turned into magic. So there was that. He comes up with good stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's my story.
That was a good story.
Hold on. I can help this guy. Tigger, I got you, man. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to go to Kindred.com and you're going to look for these. Oh, I got this. You're going to get one of these things, all right? And then you put it in your face. If you want, you can make a little. You make a light snack. Then make it lightheaded, and then you just
Tigger tea. That would solve the problem. You're right. That would fix it. That's what you need.
It's a first world problem, and I have the solution at Kindred.com.
Yeah, that solved that problem. That answered that question right there.
Yep.
Oh, that's what I would, because see, I go in and out. Okay. So I originally, way back in the beginning of the show, that's what I wanted to say. That I went out and I worked like Doug does. Doug works different than I do, and so. But this weekend I went out. Remember, you asked me how it was this weekend, right? I slayed them.
Oh yeah, you did what you did. You killed it.
I killed it doing it your style though.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the table and I just did kind of like, what do you say, improv magic, and I would just kind of do whatever, and I was slaying them. And I was terrified too because I was thinking I'm not going to make any money at this doing it this way. You
made more bigger tips is what happened.
That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened in New Orleans. When I killed myself for like 4 or 5 hours, And you had made way more money than me. And
no,
you
no. You generally.
Oh, yeah, it was that day. Yeah, it was that day.
I sure the fuck wasn't working as hard.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't working.
Not as hard.
No.
All right, let's go big screen here.
This kid, check this little.
Oh, he looks cool. I like his rig.
Say, this looks like your alley.
Look at his rig.
Yeah, he's good. But look at this. You ready? This is some of the stuff he comes up with.
Oh, this is the guy. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, then he's just living a little like Peter Pan magic life over here. Wow, he's doing real magic.
Yeah, he's doing real magic.
Yeah, his stuff looks great, right?
Wow.
Okay, then.
Yeah. See, this is the gypsy thread routine. Boom, gets the kid.
He's doing gypsy thread out there.
James. I don't know if you just saw that. Look.
He's there.
Look at this man here. Hey, look at that is.
Is that James? That's James.
Small world, eh?
Yeah.
He does the gypsy thread for a street show, which in my opinion is really, really good.
No doubt, especially organic.
I believe
right
that's
off the vet.
it's the fastest crochet. The fastest crochet. Did you see that? Look at this, Doug. Ready? Watch my string.
Oh, the string just wound up and then that popped out.
Cool.
Turns into a little bear, and he just
what is this man's name?
His name is Samuel King.
Sammy
Showtime.
Yeah, okay.
He's just very, very good.
Sammy Showtime, but I shouldn't. He's so young. How come I hurt?
He's just very, very good.
He's like a European performer.
Yeah, so he's from Australia, but he travels over to England a lot. He spends most of his time in England, to the point now where he has like an accent.
Where does he go?
He goes over to like England.
Yeah, he looks like a European performer.
Yeah.
You have any desire to go back to the Europe, Jimmy? Or are you like not interested in traveling anymore?
Oh, I didn't want to leave Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you want to go back? Like in this day and age, is this something that's in your brain? I'm asking you.
Well, I may be going back. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. Like I said, I'm getting older. I'm having kind of health issues and financial stuff, and so. But I guess if we get it together, yeah, I would like to go. Sure, I would love to go back to Europe. Yeah. I wanted to go. Yeah, I wanted to go. There's still a few places. I wanted to go to Australia. I wanted to go to Asia, and I wanted to go down to Argentina. The reason I go to Australia is I wanted to meet Nick Nicholas. I think he's still down there.
Yeah, he's on the cruise ship now.
Dwayne Andrews there.
No. James is in Scotland.
Oh, he's in Scotland?
Yeah, he moved home, back. Huh? Yeah, he got sick of it. Yeah. And
he got sent back?
No, he just got sick of it. Just got tired of working in Australia.
Why?
Australia is, I would argue, it's one of the toughest pitches. It's one of the toughest places to busk in the world. It's extremely difficult.
Really?
Mick Stone said that, Jimmy. I remember Mick going there and just suffering.
Yeah.
Who?
Mick Stone, who is not great, but he's good. He's good enough. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not like other places in the world. Australia, firstly, our population is very small for the size of the country. It's like 30 million for a country that's like 2 times the size of America. and then on top of that, it's insufferably hot here. And in saying that though, I've never had an issue with it. Like I always seem to do okay. But then I find myself doing really well when I go abroad. You know what I mean? I guess it's like you were saying, like lean towards the suffering. But
a
lot of people that travel to Australia, they don't have the same experience, obviously, because they're coming from places like England where it's like free, right? Busking in England is just very free.
I loved it.
Scotland is very free. I don't know what America's like. I've never tried it, but I will.
We're supposed to be the land of the free.
Yeah, it's a free country. It's just real expensive.
Don't you believe it? Don't you believe it?
It's a free country. It's just really expensive to live there.
Yeah, nothing's free.
Yeah, plus nothing's free.
That was the joke.
I like Spain. I love Spain. When I was in Spain, Germany was probably one of the best places for me to work, and Ireland. And whenever I needed money, I just went to London. I go get money, so
it's pretty much what most people do, right? It's like you want to get rich, go to London.
Yeah, you go to London. Well, you're right there.
You want to in Australia, it's like if you want to have the best chance at busking, go to Sydney. That's where I live now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's probably the best place to busk in Australia. And then what is the other one? There's another place. Oh yeah, if you ever want to busk in an Asian country, the best place to busk is Korea.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, have you been to Korea? They have literal spots where it's just like these amphitheaters all lined up next to each other for buskers to go, and people just go there and see buskers.
Wow.
It's awesome.
That's the way it should be everywhere.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's like a whole street culture up there. That's a bit weird though. You should see the performers. It's real strange. They have like these like boy band lip syncers that just all.
Okay, new life goal. Go to Korea. Watch the weirdness.
Go and do it, man. Go eat the food. You know, try the food.
Oh
try
yeah,
the places.
got to be good, right?
But anyway, we're at our lovely 1 hour mark. So, Mr. Jimmy,
let's give Jimmy a chance to. You got anything you want to plug? What's your blog? What's your official blog?
Jimmy Talksalot.blogspot.com. Yeah, what most people do is they just Google Jimmy Talksalot.
There you go.
And it's the first thing that comes up is my blog.
All right.
And I need to sell books. Please buy some books.
Hey, y'all do
buy my
for
books.
It. And
I sold a lot of books.
There's so many good lessons that a street performer teaches that apply to great magic in general. If you're not even interested in street performing, I can recommend any street performing text to better yourself as a performer, but certainly Jimmy's book.
I just wrote, I wrote one for character. That's what most of the students I got, they would want to learn about how do I get a character? You know, because the character does all. So I wrote The Elusive Hymn. Recently I wrote a book and I dedicated it to Diobo, who recently passed away, and also to Mark Beltram, who
lost his mind.
So two students who went towards the suffering. And
Mark Beltram is an inspirational story.
Yeah. So I dedicated it to both of them, and
you find them on the blog, Tigger. You can go to the blog, and the stuff's for sale there. Are you currently writing?
I got a bunch of books
Is
out.
it updated regularly still at all, or not? Semi-regularly?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, your blog. Are you still actively doing that?
No, I'm going to be.
Yeah,
I'm going to be, because I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the magic, and then I'm going to do stuff on the blog.
Yeah, that's the right move.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I look forward to seeing more of you on the line, and
no doubt. Plus, look forward to the Jimmy Doug show coming to YouTube every Tuesday.
And do some training.
Are we going to do a show?
I don't know. Maybe.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.